So I'm a 43-year-old male watching a TV show about high school kids on the CW network. Is that sad?
You are one pathetic loser.
You know what? I don't even care because I am hooked on Riverdale, yo. I am absolutely loving this show and I just can't wait for each episode to come out every week. So now we're in episode 3. I didn't get a chance to review or recap episode 2 because I had some things going on. But in episode 3, there's just so much going on with the story and the characters. I just had to share my thoughts on this video. So by now we've been introduced to most of the key characters. So let's just run through them one by one. First of all, of course, you got Archie. And you know, he's a real good looking guy. Has to have his shirt off for at least one scene in every episode. So there's that. Reggie Mantle, I'm going to call him my AAA from now on, which stands for Asian American Asshole. So, you know, Reggie Mantle is a real douchebag in the comics. He really had a couple of good scenes in episode 2, and I just can't wait to see more of him portraying Reggie in that way, because I'm loving it so far. Jughead, hey, did you know that Jughead was Frankenstein from Big Daddy? I mean, wow, that kind of took me by surprise. I'm like, what? That kid looks familiar. And then when I looked it up, sure enough, it's this little Julian Frankenstein from Big Daddy, which is pretty cool. You got Cherry Blossom, who is like the Sydney of Riverdale. And if you don't know who Sydney is, Sydney's like the crazy redheaded bitch from Melrose Place. And Cherry Blossom is fully taking on that personality for this particular show, which I'm loving as well. You got Big Ethel, and by the way, Barb lives, yeah. Barb from Stranger Things is well and alive in Riverdale, so I guess when you die in the Upside Down world, you're resurrected as an Archie character, which is very, very awesome. And episode 3 shows us a lot more of Dilton Doily, who's also playing pretty close to character as well. He's a little nerdy scoutmaster type, and it turns out that he's going to have a key role in this whole murder mystery too, so we'll see how that plays out. Now, you've probably noticed that I skipped over 2 of the key characters, Betty and Veronica, and I'm going to go into why. Because they deserve a lot more discussion than the other characters. Now, let's start with Veronica. I am really into how this actress, I don't know her name, but how she's portraying Veronica is just... she's just really embracing the character, and I'm loving it, man. Because in episode 3, there's a storyline where the athletes, the football players, are keeping this, what's kind of like a male version of a slam book, where they're keeping score of the women that they sleep with or supposedly sleep with. I guess they're becoming future Trump wannabes in that sense.
Grab him by the pussy.
But so Chuck Clayton, the coach's son, has a date with Veronica, and then he gives her a sticky maple, with whatever that is. But apparently it's some sort of slut-shaming thing. When Veronica finds out about it, she goes all like Latina, and she gets all mad, and she does the Wolverine Berserker Rage thing, which I thought was kind of cool.
You want to help me get revenge on Chuck, Betty? Awesome. But you better be willing to go full dark, no stars. What do you say, in or out? It
was really cool to see her so enraged and ready to just go nuts on Chuck, but then it turns out that the person actually going nuts is Betty. So let's get into that a little bit. So Betty and Veronica, they come up with this plot to get some revenge on Chuck and force him to confess that, you know, it was all a big lie and he didn't actually sleep with Veronica. But in doing so, Betty takes on this split personality kind of deal where she puts on this black wig, dresses up in sexy lingerie, and she calls Chuck Jason, the boy who's been murdered, and she's taking on the personality of her sister in the Looney House, Polly.
Betty couldn't make it, so she sent me instead.
So what is going on there? I don't quite know what's going on there yet. And then they reveal later on that she's keeping the black wig, which is I guess her Polly persona, in her school locker. So I'm thinking we're gonna see even more of that later on. So Betty's becoming a lot more complex than just a pretty blonde next door. So Riverdale's taking a lot of interesting takes on these, you know, well-known characters. So they're staying very true to them and very loyal to the characters in one sense, and yet modernizing them and giving them little twists individually to make them more appealing to the modern world, which is really, really smart and is being done really, really well. The friendship between Betty and Veronica is, you can really believe it. It's a real tangible thing. It's not just a TV friendship. I'm sure there's gonna be more about their love triangle with Archie and how that's going to develop. And this whole murder mystery thing, to be honest, it is a cool concept to be the core of the show, but to me the show is actually about the characters, and I don't really care too much about the murder mystery. I mean, it is, like I said, it's a cool side story, but to me this show is all about Archie, Betty, Veronica, Dilton, Jughead, and the rest of the gang. I mean, these are just characters I've grown up with, and to see them every week in a live TV show, it's just very, very rewarding to me. So like my shirt says, I'm an addict. I'm hooked. So I'll be there every week, and I'll try to post my recap of every week's episode right here. So please make sure to subscribe right down there, and give me a big like if you like my video. Thanks so much for watching.